Teresa. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me here today. Today is a super quick project. I do appreciate that you're probably all equally as busy as me, but for those of you that just want a last minute suggestion of something fun and creative to do, I have made these beautifully shimmery metallic gel printed stars that I have added to this string of bottle lights, which will create a festive addition to my Christmas table. I'm going to be adding these around a little table centerpiece. And I just thought it was a really fun way of jazzing up this string of bottle lights. If you have a larger string, I've got one that's even longer than this, one with 20 lights, and that would be perfect for adding to a garland on a hearth or mantelpiece. But if you are looking for something that's really simple and is not going to take much time at all, then this is absolutely perfect. I am going to move this out of the way. I'll get all set up and I'll show you how it's done. I'm going to begin by giving you a quick run through of what we're using today. As always, I'm using my smaller 7x5" gel plate. Use whatever size plate you've got, it really doesn't matter. I've got my brayer, just got my red rubber brayer here today. I've got some tracing paper, and this is what I'm going to be printing on today. Tracing paper, semi-translucent paper. You might have some vellum or parchment if you do sort of parchment craft. Use that. You may be able to use deli paper. That's a transparent paper as well. Just check that your deli paper is not going to be too floppy. We are going to be having a double thickness of this, but this tracing paper has a little bit more body to it than the deli paper that I've used in the past. I've got my acrylic paint. I'm going to be using some metallic paint. So I've got pearl, copper, gold, gold and silver here from the Arteza acrylic colour set. Use whatever you want. White would be very, very pretty as well, but I just fancied a little bit of metallic for a change. And very simple mark making tools today. If you want to use a stencil, please go ahead and use a stencil. If you've got some foam stamps or stamps that you want to stamp in, use that. But I'm going to be doing sort of spots and stripes patterns. So this is a set of Ranger texture tools, which essentially are just plastic, I can't really think, plastic tools with a shape, and when I run them through they'll create a pattern of stripes. I've also got my trusty bubble wrap that will create a dotty pattern, but again really just a simple basic pattern, just to sort of break up the background and create a little bit of interest. Use whatever you want. We're all running out of time. It's right upon Christmas, so this is just a really nice, quick and easy project to make. So I'm going to begin with my silver paint. Just going to pop a little bit on the plate. Wondering whether to pop a bit of gold on there as well. Why not? And I'm going to use my brayer just to roll that out and create a nice thin, even coating. Just got a scrap of paper off to the side here that I can just roll off any excess paint that is on my brayer. And I'm going to take one of these texture tools and just create a line. I think I'm actually going to take it off this ring. I find it a little bit awkward to hold on to all of them. I'm just going to create a swirly pattern like so, and as you say, it just takes that off. Just clean off your excess paint, paper towel, scrap of paper, something like that. You can take a piece of my tracing paper, pop it down, and lift off a print like so. And that's just really pretty, just something subtle. I don't want anything too bright. If you want to use a brighter colour, by all means go ahead, but I like the fact that there is still some transparency in this because we are going to be shining a light through it. So I'm going to be just cleaning my plate off in between. If you want to take extra pulls with your paint that's left on the plate, by all means go ahead and do that. I really don't need any extra prints in my stash at the moment, so I'm happy just to clean that off. So this time I'm going to use the gold paint and the pearl copper gold. And again, just spray that evenly over the surface. This time I'm going to take my bubble wrap, just press that in to make an imprint in that paint. Take another piece of tracing paper and pull a print. Really pretty, nice and shimmery. And I'm just going to continue until I've got perhaps half a dozen sheets. It's more than enough. Obviously, depending on how many lights you need to cover, that will determine how many stars you need to make.
Hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand. You ready? Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart. And I can promise Santa's coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times. Oh, and the sun said it is just getting better on a blanket with the skyline painted in blue. Ooh, yeah, that's what we do. We'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be.
Once you've got enough prints, and I think now that I've got, what have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4 of the stripy ones and 2 of the bubble wrap dotted ones, then that's more than enough for what I need. It's time to just clean this up, clean up your plate, clean up your brayer, and I'll show you how to go about creating the little star shades for the lights. So before I cut out my stars, here's just a quick look at the prints that we've got. So these really nice bubble wrap pattern texture there. Got a couple of those. Then we've got the lovely metallic stripes. So we've got some wavy stripes. This one here that looks a bit like tree rings actually on this large piece. One that I've done in a check pattern. And then this wavy one again here. So really, really nice. So I'm going to cut out some stars. Now I've got a die cutting machine, so and a star-shaped die, so I'm just going to, for speed, cut them out using that. But if you don't have that, just draw yourself a star, print off a star shape off the computer and just make yourself a little template and cut them all out the same size. Now how big you do them is entirely up to you. Looking at the spacing between the lights on the string, I can see on this string lights that I've got here, there's probably about 4 inches between each of the little LEDs. So, you know, I need there to be a bit of space between my stars. So looking at it, I'm thinking 2.5 inches diameter maybe for my stars. If you're not sure, just try out a couple of sizes and see, you know, on some scrap paper and see which you think is best for yours. Obviously, different string lights may have different spacings between their little bulbs. So I've cut out my stars. I've cut them out in pairs of matching designs because we need a front and a back. And they will basically just fit together like this, back to back, with the painted side out around the string light. I've done 4 of the sort of striped ones, 4 of the dotted ones, just so that I can alternate on this string. The one I'm using here is just a short one with 8 lights. I do have a longer one with 20, which I might do later as well. But this one is going to be perfect for popping around the base of my table centerpiece for Christmas Day. And I'll just disguise the battery pack in amongst something else on there. I think there may be some fake foliage on there as well. But basically, if I turn on my light, we're going to be attaching these, as I say, around each individual light like so, and that will create a fancy little star-shaped shade. Now, if you're so inclined, get the sewing machine out. You could stitch around these if you want to. I'm going to use a little bit of glue. You could use small glue dots, but a double-sided tape if you want. But I've got my glue that dries clear with a fine nozzle, and I am literally going to put a very fine amount around the outside edge and stick it down around the light, and then just hold it in place with a clip until it's dry, which shouldn't in itself take that long. So starting with the end one, just going to turn the lights off for now. Going to get my glue at the ready. And as I say, just going to pop a very small amount of glue around the edges. This glue, as always, and these bottles is linked in the Amazon storefronts down below. I like this, it dries quickly, it grabs quickly. Just going to line up those points. And I have a whole selection of assorted little clips here, which I'm just thinking the best way just clip them down like that. Won't take long, but just don't want them to peel apart at the edges. So I'm going to move on, take my second one and repeat the process. And here's my finished little string of starlights, and I'm really happy with how these look. Hard to show them here on camera, but I hope you can see we've got that nice shimmery patterning. It's just subtle enough to, you know, just add a little bit of extra glimmer and interest to these lights. And even, you know, when they're turned off, they're still going to be a pretty addition in the table decoration that I'm adding them to. As I say, I do have a longer set. I've got a longer set with 20, which would be really nice mixed in across a mantle with a garland. Or indeed even put on a tree. But I'm really pleased with this. It's a quick and easy little festive addition, a fun way of using your gel plate. And if you don't have a gel plate, you could do something very similar with a stencil and some paint, but just bear in mind that you don't put too much paint on sort of paper like this, because it will curl or crinkle. The good thing about gel plate is you get a very thin layer, so it's absolutely perfect for these more lightweight papers. But yeah, really happy with this. If you want to see some other projects that I've done with bottle lights, I did do a gel print lantern, which I'll pop up in the corner there, and I will also link in the end card to a set that I did with some decorative bottles, and I did colour the lights there using alcohol inks. So if you were considering having coloured lights, do check that out just to see the effect that you could get. But quick and easy video for me this week, as hopefully you'll appreciate. I'm very busy in the run up to Christmas now. There's not going to be a video next week. Next Saturday will be Boxing Day, and I'm spending obviously Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and the following few days, you know, enjoying some family time. Fingers crossed I will be back for the first Saturday of the new year. But for now, for this year, all I want to do is wish you all a very Merry Christmas. Thank you for joining me each week here on my channel, and I shall see you in 2021. Bye.
Christmas in